playing poker, which are the best cards to have? Of four of a kind.
Well, obviously the ace.
The aces, right?
Yeah.
So as a magician, we can obviously just pull the 4 aces like this. Now I want you take a look. Are they normal? You can check. I want you to check the cards. This is completely pure.
Yeah.
You have the ace of spades, diamonds, clubs, and the hearts. But sometimes the aces actually aren't the best hands. Sometimes you can actually lose with the aces. It's true.
How?
Because you can have a royal flush, you can have different ones.
Yeah.
And sometimes if you have a king, so I'll show you what I mean. You can take the aces like this, and by wave, you can actually change into the 4 kings. Watch, I can actually take the 4 kings, watch. Grab those 4 kings.
Turn it over?
Turn it over, show the camera.
What?
No, you know where the 4 kings went? Right there.
That is sweet. That is sweet. Well done. I was going to say a 4-letter word, but I won't.
Here is 4x4. This is an original creation. I made this up when I was, I think, 19 years old. And this is definitely one of the hardest moves I've ever had to create and learn and perform. However, I think once you get the hang of it, it'll be worth it. And I really feel like it's one of the most visual color changes I've seen and that I've created. So here we go. Here's 4x4. It's a very difficult move. It uses the 4 kings and the 4 aces. 4 aces is on top, 4 kings are on the bottom. We're going to use a move called the longitudinal palm. And this is what the longitudinal palm looks like. The tenkai palm, you may have heard of this, is in this position. So people would hide the card like this, and they would kind of make it vanish. Right? I never really liked the tenkai palm for a color change. I've liked the tenkai palm for vanish. I've always done it for vanish. Even in my acts, I've done it for vanish. But to do a tenkai palm for a color change always seemed a little bit off. Okay, so I prefer, because when you're waving the deck, you're supposed to wave it like this, not like this. See, when you're doing tenkai, you have to wave the deck like that. But with a longitudinal, when you're waving over, you can kind of just do it naturally. So this is why I like the longitudinal. Another reason was because only with the longitudinal can you perform this specific 4x4 color change. So the 4 kings at the bottom of the deck, you're going to shift all 4 kings into longitudinal position, like that, and you're going to hold it and keep it like this. So what I recommend doing is just taking 1 king when you first start out, put it in longitudinal position, hold it, release the deck like this, and then come over. So repeat like that. And then you can grab the 3 other kings, and now practice with 4 cards like this. So you shift all 4 to longitudinal, and now you're gonna count 1, 2, 3, 4 aces. Here. Place the 4 aces on your hand. And this is the hardest part, for me at least, when I was learning this, is to actually grab the deck and the 4 aces, keeping everything aligned whilst holding onto the 4 kings. Now when you spread the king, this is very much like a principle of springing cards. If you've ever sprung a deck of cards, you notice the cards spring individually, one by one. They all separate, see, one by one. So we're using the same principle here. We're springing the kings onto the aces. So you get it set up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here. Grab everything except for the kings. The kings are left in longitudinal, so no one's supposed to see this. The attention is supposed to be here. Now you're going to spring the kings onto the aces. And I was doing it slowly, so it's hard to separate it. But as you can see, even when I did it slowly, the kings more or less separated pretty evenly. The faster you go, the easier it is, because then it just kind of happens like that. So I'm not actually thinking about it. When I'm doing this spread, I don't think about, oh, I need to separate the kings properly and they need to be individually separated. What I'm thinking in my head is, how am I springing these kings? I gotta spring them properly, like I'm springing a deck of cards. Because if you spring them properly, then they're spread evenly, like that. So, one more time, you take the kings out, and you spread. So you take the 1, 2, 3, 4 aces. Sure, your hand's empty. Now you grab everything. So the kings are here. And you spread like this. Sometimes this top king can kind of go and overspread, but that's okay. It's okay. As long as they see this image. And you usually want to do aces to kings. You don't want to do kings to aces. So you show the aces like this. Turn to kings. So you can see they spread evenly. I wasn't even thinking about trying to spread these evenly. I was focusing on the spring when I was spreading the cards. Now you notice something interesting. The kings are now right above the aces directly. So all you have to do now is you grab the bottom ace. So I'm actually grabbing 8 cards right now as we speak. But from the front it looks like 4 kings. And I just flip it over. And that's it. And now these change to the aces. But they don't know that yet. So you lay that on the table. And you say, okay, so those are the kings over there. And this one's not, you don't have to do this, it's optional. But you can say, watch, I snap my hands, check out those cards, and then they check it and it's the aces, and now I palm the kings, and then I just make them appear anywhere. So you can make them appear behind their ear or in your pocket, something like that. So you can do anything at that point. But yeah, that's just optional. One more time, just an overview. Watch, the kings are at the bottom, aces up top. Shift all 4 into longitudinal grip. 1, 2, 3, 4. Show the 4 aces like this. Now you're going to transfer everything and spring. And that's it. Now if something happens, like the king goes over here, you can just use your thumb to just kind of push it over and clean it up. But at this point, it really doesn't matter. People usually freak out anyways because they just saw the top king change. So as long as the top card is changing into the king, right, that card changes, and they don't see any ace anywhere, they tend to just freak out anyways. So that is the ace to king. Here it is in slow motion.